Fear too. Love that screen. And we're in game. So there it is. Drafts are done. It's gonna be interesting to see just how much JT. Why does JT have a shared tango right now?
Uh, oh,
Interesting.
okay. I mean,
Um, uh, actually,
some,
where did that? Okay,
some.
so someone bought like 2 sets and passed all of it to Emo
Oh,
and JT. Okay.
Emo's got that TA torn as well. That's See, that one is a direct BM, right? Like if you
Yeah.
get a nice deny off, or you, like that is. If I was spamming TA right now, or if
Oh
I was
god.
playing TA, I would just spam that constantly. Like
Oh yeah.
that would drive someone nuts. In fact,
Oh,
SRF
this is
gonna
not
run
good.
straight into 5 heroes. There's a stun JT with the Fisher follow up, but a nice aphotic shield, and
They
oh,
blocked themselves.
well, come on,
Oh no.
in a straight line, boys, one by one. Can't all just group up like that.
Oops. That's a bit of a whoops. JT didn't manage to get the block, and they miss
Whoopsie.
out in first blood. They're still gonna go for it though. They're not gonna stop.
I like it. Keep it going. They do jump onto Victoria, but he'll turn around and now Kaka, the first one to die. And, well, someone got first blood, it just wasn't IG. And on that note, John, I think it's probably about that time I show some game odds as well from GG Benton. There they are on the screen.
Yep.
CDEC is looking to be the favorites in this matchup.
Yeah, I think that's just down to again the historic matchup result, the most recent one so far does play a big factor in that. So it is slightly favored for them as they did take that last meetup, but it is already a good start. Right, they found first blood. IG forcing that movement up the high ground, like after committing so many resources already. That was super optimistic to want that to happen. Still, we are going to see the Ursa and the Queen of Pain lane up against a tri lane.
Oh, Ollie, no. He doesn't have Blink, John.
Yeah,
He
nah.
got blocked.
Nope.
You're
Oh,
dead.
no.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
It's
Ooh.
great plays from CDEC, John. They're just running little kinds of strats that you wouldn't really expect early on. I wasn't expecting a tri lane here from CDEC either, but obviously it's working out quite nicely. And, well, SRF, he might have a bit of a tough time on that Mars, but ultimately should be okay in the end.
Yeah, you really don't mind sacking the Mars in a lane like this. You just force the Ursa to have such a hard time. That's key, and you already see Fly TP out, so they don't want this there. They make a bit of a tri lane of their own down bot.
Okay. That's where you got to play it sometimes. Tri-lane versus tri-lane, but they're going to make SRF suffer quite a lot here on the Mars. So they just dive the T1 Kaka. That is a lot of damage you're taking from that T1 tower. He'll be alright, he'll walk away, but now a fish is going to be there from JT. Fly. Yeah, this tri-lane doesn't really work out too well. It seems a bit weak in comparison to what CDEC was doing, and well, now with Victoria there on the Abaddon to support SRF, you're never really going to find this kill as you can just purge off any stun you throw out, and CDEC will now bring in their own form of a tri-lane. In fact, they'll TP SRF back up to the top lane now. Arme will join this bot lane up against Fly. And ultimately, I don't think this is the laning stage that IG wanted to start with. And they may have to just run. Yeah, Fly, he's just going to run up to the top lane again.
Oh, yeah, nah, that's a lot of time wasted. He is missing out on a wave or two now in terms of farm. Not the best start for IG, even down mid. XM up against Emo. It's fairly even for now, but you do reach that level 3 mark on Emo, so just a bit easier to apply his own harass. But you're not going to be seeing too many kill ops here, so you probably not going to get a huge advantage on Emo. He should focus on perhaps getting some stacks for himself as the game goes on to give himself that advantage.
We see a lot of these lane swaps as well, where they just kind of run up through the map, but it feels like it puts your team too far behind doing this. Like now you've got SRF at level 3, Fly is still sitting at 2. You've missed at least one creep wave, but more than likely, sitting at 2 creep waves now that you've missed, if you are Fly. And if CDEC really wanted to, they could just swap again. I mean, I suppose Fly has the advantage in some sense that he has his TP available, but I don't know. I don't know if it gets any better anyway as the Ursa now, as you're still playing up against the Mars who can just spear you away. Ultimately, I think CDEC are going to have a really, really nice time in this laning stage.
Yeah, they've wasted a lot of time. I think that's the key thing. Like, you look at the last hits of Fly, and we mentioned him missing a wave or two. He's had 6 last hits. Compare that to the 16 for Troll. Ame is most certainly having that early farm advantage. Even SRF is a fair bit ahead. So Fly has his work cut out for him in terms of finding that farm.
Kaka now going to be chased down by Victoria. Just a lot of rotations happening across the map. XM now even showing up. They're just trying to secure that boundary power rune at the bot rune spot, but it's actually up at top. But he can just orb away and go and pick it up anyway. Oh, nice juke out on the stun. Kaka could not get it off. And meanwhile, Victoria is actually bullying out Emo. This is your mid-TA being bullied by a support Abaddon.
Not a great sign, but Curse of Avernus can be annoying, and again, Emo doesn't have the best range so far. They did manage to waste a lot of time. This, in the end, does benefit CDEC. Like, their side lanes are just so much more stable without the supports that you do find a little bit more, although JT has a bit of an EXP advantage, but not enough to worry Ame. Ame is still perfectly fine farming this situation.
Well, on the Troll, you're just focused on farm anyway, right? Like, it's not like the Earthshake is really going to be able to kill you by himself. So, Ame will just keep freely farming up, and JT, he's going to go for a pool now. Victoria's going to follow him all the way. In fact, never mind, he'll just kind of back off, but that was at that 5-minute boundary rune spot, so perhaps feeling like there was some help on the way for JT. Truth was there wasn't. JT will get away with the pull as well as both those bounty runes. Top lane, however, Ollie falling quite low. James falling even lower though on the Rubik, and he should go down. SRF still wanting to try onto Kaka, but Kaka will salve up right in front of him, and now with the Earth Spike just securing him down. SRF does have a spear available, will actually turn around, cancelling that salve off Kaka, but now SRF, can you keep fighting? Well, you definitely can if Victoria's there. And this support Abaddon is actually doing quite a bit of work already.
Yeah, Victoria's presence has most certainly benefited CDEC in a lot of these engagements. The key thing is with SRF, for the most part, like, it's just so little damage when he's facing the right way. Like, you saw the Ursa get, like, what, 3 right clicks off with his swipes, and it did nothing. So it's just so much harder when you get the Abaddon on top as well with the shield. Just too much durability on this Mars, and it makes it a lot harder for IG to find that lane pickoff.
They're really trying to. Like, Fly is trying to apply a lot of pressure here into SRF. Ollie gonna jump in now with the Shadow Strike as well. Fly, they're just gonna turn around. SRF's taking so much damage off this Ursa. With this support Queen of Pain as well, she doesn't really offer too much apart from that Shadow Strike. And it's not really doing much in the way of forcing anyone out. Maybe at the later levels you might find her being a bit more useful, but for now Fly is really struggling on this Ursa, and there's no help coming. Still stuck on 16 last hits.
It's a huge deficit when you compare that to even SRF, but you compare that to Ame, it's not even close. Ame's had 44-8 in his own lane. There has to be a lot of catching up here for IG. But on the bright side, Emo is not quite suffering. You know, it's fairly close to that puck. Of course, he does have to dip into the jungle to maximize that, but as long as Emo has a decent time farming up, then you can still find some room to breed here.
It is going to be on the back of Emo's shoulders this game, it seems, already. Try his absolute best to gain as much of an advantage as he can. XM as well is at that point now. He's at level 7, so he can start making his own rotations with that Dream Coil. It is very, very strong in these early stages of the game. Oh. Speaking of ultimates, top lane, Fly, caught in the arena. Yep. It was just too easy.
He's level 4, SRF 6. What can you really expect? Ollie wasn't around. It's just that easy for CDEC at this point.
And they're trying to give him solo XP as well. It's not like Fly is not getting some XP there. It's just they're pushing him so far back. Even up against the tri-lane, the Mars. Even with the tri-lane, the Mars is out-leveling the Ursa. Fly, we talked about this this very, very kind of bad start where he had to run back up towards that top lane. And now, well, he gets speared up again. Oh. Immediately this time they TP in to try and help out. SRF, does he get out in time? He does not. Kaka will be there with the Hex, and they will punish SRF. But that was a 4-hero rotation for that.
Yeah, it frees up the side lanes. JT now to target down bot.
Does have Echo. Arme not going to care for that though. Gets the slow off. Has the battle trance if he really wants it. There will be a lift. I don't think he's even going to pop it, or maybe he has to now. You really do want this kill onto JT, and yeah, he is going to die.
Yeah. That was one of the important things for IG as well. That farm on JT to get that blink. He was given free lane. He does have power treads, but it's really down to the blink timing of that Shaker, and it's not been as smooth for our Shaker compared to Emo. Like, there has been a little bit more congestion for JT, but he's still up there. Number 2 net worth. Still a nice pick off for CDEC. And IG need to find a way to give a little bit more space out. There's just so much jungle space you can give out. Like, Emo's already eating a lot of it. And it's hard for Fly to find those safer spots in the jungle because Emo's there.
It's very, very tough for IG. And their draft doesn't scale well late game either. Like, they do tend to... Both drafts drop off quite a bit, but I'd say the Troll does go better than the Ursa TA would. Rough bot lane. Fight over the outposts for a second, but there's the immediate Dream Coil there. Not willing to give it up, and now Arme just runs in. He has the Battle Trance, so he feels very, very safe doing this. JT going to try and run away. XM, he's going to make the chase onto Kaka. There's not really much lockdown after the Dream Coil, though, so they won't be able to secure either kill. But it seems as though they're just happy with the outpost not being stolen away by IG. Now top lane, Fly going to try and make a jump onto SRF, but we kind of talked about that. Every time you do try onto this Mars, he's just going to spear you away like this. He'll try again now with Ollie jumping in. Arena is up, SRF, he will pop it. He's getting low. Enrages there from Fly, but now Arme going to come in. Again, Battle Trance is available, but he doesn't need it. He will secure the Ursa kill. And we'll just go back to farming on the top lane. In fact, he may just choose to pressure that top tier 1.
Yeah, this is a perfect time for it. You take the Ursa out as well, so you trade the off lane for the safe laner. Still a better time for CDEC.
Bot lane, they did end up committing the Echo, just to be able to really secure the kill on the Abaddon. I think JT, in his mind, probably just thought, I'm not going to be using this Echo anytime soon anyway, so I may as well just use it before the Abaddon starts doing his shenanigans to stay alive. Well, top lane, Arme, can do a bit of chip damage while he can. Does have the siege creep there as well. Ollie will be around, but hasn't hit that 6 mark yet, so it doesn't really have the Sonic Wave to really force this wave back. And make matters worse, James actually has stolen the Scream, so he can actually force the Dire creep wave back. And yeah, they're definitely just going to secure that tier 1. IG will do the same thing down at the bot lane.
It's a decent trade. They are giving themselves equal control on the map, and they might be able to find Victoria. They don't really have any way of gap closing, so that is a bit of an issue. And
hit lane.
They
easy kill. XM, he just committed the Dream Coil. Ollie was there in the mid lane, and they just say, screw it, it's a free kill. And, well, now they look to try and pressure that T1 mid tower, and that's a big one. In all honesty, I don't know if IG can actually try and defend this.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky. They do have finger up on Kaka, so they have some burst potential if they want to commit.
Well, for now, it'll be JT's presence will be enough to force them back. Can't forget as well, like, this is buying Arme all the space in the world on that Troll, who is actually going for a Battle Fury, so realizing that he will be able to outscale the draft of IG, just feels like the Battle Fury is the right way to go this game. And for once, I'd say I can't actually disagree with the Troll Battle Fury build. I think it's actually quite nice here.
Oh.
They try on Victoria, but he just borrowed times, walks away.
Yeah, it's a bit preemptive just to ensure that the finger is not going to burst right through him, which is easy at this point. So a bit of wasted time there from IG. That was their smoke as well. They really want to maximize that finger. We talked about that in draft. It's really important for them to play around that tempo. Haven't really maximized it yet.
No, they haven't. Just chilling back. I mean, CDEC's finding so many items in the meantime. Like, you've got a Vladimir's offering that's going to be coming out on Victoria. So, and they're just going to snowball off of that. Like, Dream Call now
Kaka.
mid lane. They found Karka, and it's just such an easy kill. Maybe if they could find XM, it'd be a huge kill on IG, but they just don't have the lockdown yet. You're still waiting on JT to finish that blink off as well. So, IG just don't have any options.
Yeah, it's fairly close for JT though. Once you have that up, you should be ready to go in these fights. He's going to be key in setting up the initiation for IG. Expect a smoke in about maybe 2 to 3 minutes when he has the gold up.
I don't think he has a choice. He's going to make something happen for the team right now because it's going downhill real quick. Looks like SRF is going for his own Blink Dagger on the Mars, so you're going to have that initiation there from CDEC. Battle Fury also on the way for Arme. Now that's really going to escalate his farm as if it wasn't already good enough.
Yeah, it's just gonna make it so much harder to play that farming game that you mentioned. You know, Troll does scale a lot nicer here, and he's just gonna scale that much faster as well. Though they do catch SRF.
They try to. He is pretty tanky. Sonic Wave Finger, everything being committed. James stole the finger.
Oh.
Okay, that's a nice one.
Oh boy, yeah, that's scary. James doesn't get punched as well, so next time he shows up, it's gonna be the drive-by. Finger and Fade Bolt, that could actually just burst the support out. Yeah, that's enough to burst Kaka out.
On the brighter side for IG, at least they did find the kill on SRF. It's gonna feel nice just getting some kills on the board, and it is buying more space for Fly, right? Like now he does have the Vanguard up. He's gonna be feeling a little bit tankier going into these early engagements, and just a slight bit more survivability. In fact, IG feeling so good, they'll smoke up with that blink on JT now. They'd love to pick up XM, and there's the Echo to start things off with the stun as well. Is it enough, XM? It will be in the end. The Enchant Totem Strike from JT proved to be enough damage. In fact, he dealt quite a lot of damage. And it seems as CDEC want to try and return the favor here with their own smoke. Of course, they'd love to go on to Emo, get that pretty much equal trade here on the mid laners and SRF. You've got to throw that arena out, so if you want this. Perhaps a bit of miscommunication. They don't actually engage, and Emo saw them in time.
Yeah, a bit of a wasted op for CDEC. They would have really loved that. It's down to the fact that if you're not starting with XM, you can't get that good jump in.
John, have you seen the quick buy menu of Emo right now?
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Who needs a blink?
Okay. Yeah, it allows them to play around that aggression with the traps. I think it's an interesting second buy, but I guess JT's just going to start these fights anyway.
Oh,
Oof.
There's that finger from James. Ollie ends up dying. Now Victoria going to be chased down here. He does get the borrowed time off, but Earth Spike going to be there to stun him up, and the spear does not connect, and nor does the Earth Spike from James. So Fly going to keep up the chase, feeling confident, but they don't realize Arme's around the area. Or maybe they do and they just don't care. Place a deep ward down, and that'll be the end of that IG. They're feeling confident now. It seems as though they want to try and make some plays happen.
Yeah, they've hit their stride. They are starting to come online. Again, the key thing is that JT can't set up for them. So they really are just trying to maximize that. I think when you do itemize like this in Emo, it does tell you want to go fast.
XM getting onto JT. That's the offlane Earthshaker, and he's not a very tanky man, the offlane Earthshaker. Not yet anyway, and he does go down very, very quickly.
Yeah, it did take the arena out. So you're not going to have that option, but it's not the longest cooldown in Emo now.
Trying. Ollie going to be there on the Queen of Pain. Sonic Wave will secure that kill, and XM, can you lock them down long enough? They should be able to find this Quap. In fact, stolen Sonic Wave will do the work, but James now needs to run. They will help, but no. Finger is there from Karka to secure the kill. Now Fly going to try and man-fight Arme, but that is not a good idea. He will enrange and jump up the cliff. And still, it was a bit of a positive trade there for IG. They got a 2-for-1. And once again, killing off SRF on that Mars. In fact, they're going for more now. Fly. Love to find XM. Earth Spike will not connect.
No.
JT, can you get the Fisher? No. Couldn't time it perfectly.
Yeah, that's a bit of a mistake. Started out for the spike instead of the instant hex. You might have wanted to lead with line. It is pretty tricky though. Like Puck is just super slippery. So not the easiest target to jump. Still, IG starting to pull ahead. Less than 1k lead now for CDEC. If they find a skill in Ame,
That could be a big one. JT's in there with the Echo as well. Earthspike out from Karka onto
Oh,
Tilba. Battle
no.
Trance. He will get it off. Still, I don't think he'll be able to lifesteal that much. He's trying, however. In fact, never mind. He's lifestealing a lot on Fly. No, that was too early, sir. Now the arena from onto Karka from SRF does get the kill. Oh, and how the tables turn so quick.
Oh, yeah, it's unfortunate for IG, but CDC claw back that lead, and a lot of that is on Ame. So Ame now ready to apply a lot more pressure, is pushing into that tier 2. IG need to wait for a couple of items more. Like maybe if they had a basher up, they could have gotten that final control on the troll, but it's not up yet on Fly, so they need to wait for that item to come in. Emo is about to finish up that Ags, so the control on the map and the mobility of this TA will shoot off by quite a fair bit. And that is going to be important to have Emo on hand. You need the TA's damage.
In all honesty, I honestly thought Emo would just cancel that off and go for a blink. I didn't think he was actually going to go through with the ads.
Yeah.
Is it actually going to work though? Like, have we even seen this before? Like TA ads, I mean, you become a ninja, right? You're quite literally a ninja once you've got the ads up.
You know what's funny? It was Emo last time as well. Legitimately, the first time the ags got changed to this, it was Emo who actually built this. I remember that like last year. Yeah, I remember Emo. It was Emo exactly. He had to blink first though. It was like a fort item pickup, but he decided to go for it early, and there it is.
Okay. So what's the game plan now? How does this... I mean, obviously with the eggs, you can now TP to your traps. But how are they going to make this work? Okay, goes to that trap. I guess he has that global... Like, he has global presence now, in a sense.
Yeah. I think there is potency. He needs to drop a lot more out and play around it, but if you can get the jump on a couple of heroes, it's super easy for the TA to pick off individual heroes. So they're really banking off of CDEC maybe roaming around too aggressively and not taking out those traps and building off of that.
Looks like the side of CDEC will overtake this dire triangle as they do get the tier 1 bot tower as well. Now Ame says, hey, I'm strong enough, I've got an Aegis, let's go for a tier 2 tower. It'll be glyphed, but that may actually open up the tier 3. Ame is not even moving, he's just going straight at that tower. I actually would not blame them at all for trying to go for a high ground push, knowing that glyph is down. But they will play a bit more conservatively for now.
Yeah, you've got a couple of things on IG now. Like Fly does finish up the Basher, so he's just one step away from finishing up the Abyssal. That's going to be a big thing for Fly to have. Allows him to gap close and get the stuns off, perhaps finding those kills they've been looking for. Beyond that, you know, CDEC is just happy enough to play in this triangle area. They take another tier 2. That's the entire map closed out now. No outer towers left for IG. So it's at this point where CDEC can completely take over that dire side and shut down farm.
Well, Fly just going to stick around in that top lane and see if he can just continue forcing in this wave. Still having a rough time in terms of net worth on this Ursa, but he's trying his best and he's caught up rather decently. Almost has the Abyssal up. I think once the Abyssal Blade is there, then you definitely have some kill potential here on this Ursa. But for now, it's back to farming your own jungle, Fly, or maybe even the next wave. So Emo will be there to join him anyway, and I say that he will go down to the bot lane now. It's actually getting quite hard to keep track of where Emo is on the TA because that acts could just place a ward and just disappear somewhere else. Ollie will break the smoke of Victoria, and they do scout him out, but of course he can just blink away. Oh.
Oh,
Close call. SRF tried, but does miss Ollie in that Roshan pit, and he does get the TP off.
yeah, it's not the biggest spell to commit. Again, it's a fairly short cooldown for what it is. But this does give IG a ton of space to farm. You mentioned Emo just freely farming up, and he certainly is. Working his way towards that BKB. Once that's up, you don't really have anything from CDEC to control the TA beyond a couple of lucky routes. You have to be a bit careful with that, as Emo is just camping for a kill now.
I don't mind that. Just chilling out. And there he goes again. XM meanwhile finding Kaka. So Kaka dying up at that top lane. XM just claiming a very quick kill for himself. James was around the area as well. Bot lane, who have they found there? It is actually going to be the Earthshaker JT getting caught out now. He does Fisher, he has Echo, but there's going to be no point in committing, and just a nice easy kill for the side of CDEC. And well, this actually gives Arme his full Satanic, which is actually on the courier on the way right now. And this is that point now where the troll, can you deal with him? Like, he doesn't have a BKB. I don't think he needs one, because his main problems is going to be the TA Ursa anyway. But I just don't know if you can deal with Arme anymore.
It gets really hard. You have to sort of isolate the Ursa or maybe pick off the Abaddon first. That's going to be key. Like, the only thing that messes up their control is the Abaddon. So you have to make sure Victoria's gone or taken care of before jumping on that Ursa, and that's assuming IG makes the moves here. They have not been the aggressors in a while.
They do lose the Aegis on Arme, so it's one positive. Courier gonna get taken out for Fly, but that'll at least give him the vision, knowledge that they are around the area. Kaka, he's gonna TP out, and Fly will do the exact same, but XM with that orb. Oh, he got the Dream Call off.
Oh,
he got the long TP because Kaka TP'd first. That is very unfortunate. And Fly, he's just gonna get the short end of the stick every time. You always let your pos ones TP first, John. Never let the never let your supports TP first. This is why.
Nope.
And Emo, bot lane, we'll just melt. We'll just hide for now, and he's out of there. Back up to the top lane. Actually, in some weird way, the thing with this TA Ags is, it seems as though he's just going to keep the side lanes pushed in constantly for CDEC. And just never allow them to feel safe to actually make a push happen.
Yeah, he's been rather persistent with that, like just cutting waves and getting some farm for himself. So overall, CDC has not managed to even consider the high ground just yet, right? Like, they have this pretty good lead, pretty substantial lead. They've got great items on Ame, and they just can't commit. They keep trying to chase down Emo, but Emo just channels away.
Yeah, straight back to the fountain. That psionic projection, as they call it, is seems like the cooldown might be a little bit too low. Just constant TPing across the map, and Emo's kind of showing us how this Ags on TA could be considered broken in some sense. It in the right circumstance, it just seems really powerful.
It is. It's taken a lot of time away from CDEC. So you do have catch-up farm in play, and they smoke up. They want to get something done now.
Yeah, but they run into Victoria. That's not how they want to start. Victoria does get the borrowed time off in time, and now XM, who are you going on? Dream Call on both supports in the back, but that Fisher isn't allowing any kind of follow-up. So Dream Call already expended and leading to nothing, and Fly now enraging in the middle of that arena. He'll be okay. Echo is there from JT. With the Sonic Wave, they do find SRF, but can they deal with the Troll? Arme, he doesn't seem to want to fight right now, but he has great turn potential. With that trance with the Satanic, they're just waiting for the right opportunity, or maybe they're not, as James will also die. And CDEC is on the run. Fly's still on the chase here. He doesn't have the Abyssal right now. Can't really close the gap, but they are not stopping IG. They just keep going. Can they actually get anyone, though? Fly has the Abyssal in a few seconds. It will be onto Arme. Arme will again just man-fight this as he knows he should be able to survive. JT, however, jumps in. Now XM with the double silence. Arme still fighting Fly, who is dying very quick now, but the Abyssal comes off. But still, the Ursa is going to die. Now the Battle Trance, but an immediate Hex will make sure he can't get anything off. Ollie also TPing it or blinking out of there on the Queen of Pain. But Kaka loses his life on the Lion. And that chase ended up essentially giving CDEC a very even team fight in the end. It's a lot of gold going to the way of CDEC and just an overly excited side of IG. Just not knowing what to stop.
They couldn't really back up Fly when he jumped Ame. That's the big thing. Like, he jumped in, he got control. They were not there to do damage.
They found Emo. Top lane, Silent's going to be there as well. And he doesn't have his BKB available at the time. James even giving him the meld strike. That's a big one. That's the one person keeping all these lanes shoved in so consistently, and they finally catch him out. In fact, JT trying to do the same thing, also getting caught out at the bot lane.
Yeah, it's a lot of kills going the way of CDEC now from some pretty aggressive positioning from IG. This will cost them a bit. There's not quite enough for CDEC to go into the high ground. And the Roche is still respawning, so they're not going to lose out on objectives. But they do kind of miss out with that swing they had earlier on. So their progression has kind of halted once more. They have to finish up a couple of items before they start going again. You do have a Crystallis coming out onto Emo, so there's going to be a lot more damage on that TA. And Fly is working towards his BKB. So once those items are up, perhaps you will have enough to dig right through CDEC. But while that's down, of course, CDC is confident enough to go high ground.
And that they will. We haven't even seen the Satanic being used yet by Arme. Just hasn't had a need for it. And that tier 3 going to easily go down. Emo spend his buyback gold, but he's going to respawn in a few seconds anyway. But Fly may have to jump in very, very soon. In fact, they just determine it's best to back off here. They don't want to deal with Emo right now. That's fine. You see, they're going to be just satisfied with the tier 3.
Yeah,
oh,
again,
Emo. Yeah, the Ags can work against you too, John. The BKB going to be there, but there's the bash. And eventually, Emo... Earth Spike will save Meld, and he will actually get out of there.
What?
Debated twice.
That channel time is ridiculous.
It's too low. It's 1 second.
And can someone tell me why when I mouse over it says cooldown 30, but its actual cooldown's 15? Valve? What is that?
That is true. Why is that?
Because Valve. Volvo, please.
But it's literally unplayable, John. I can't play the game like this.
Oh, God.
Smoke.
SRF?
They do find SRF again. Everything being thrown. SRF is still alive throughout all this. They really want this kill. He spears the Ursa away. Now the arena won't really catch anyone, but they can start this team fight. IG on the run, but XM is right behind Fly, but a nice bash coming out from Fly. Still, they do get the Dream Call off, and Fly should just die. In fact, there's an Abyssal now on Arme as well, so he makes the jump on the back, gets Kaka to boot. Oh, Kaka.
Oh.
That's an interesting buyback.
Yeah, they can't give away the Roche. Yeah, no, they can't give it. They need the line with a stun. That's your best control beyond JT getting a big slam, but they don't want to commit JT that hard. Better to throw the line first.
Can you fight this, though? Roshan's half HP. They have time. You just expended so many ultis trying to kill SRF. They do have some nice vision there with the traps. JT still has the Echo. Arme feeling confident, willing to run up the hill. There's going to be a lift there on the Queen of Pain. Ollie gets speared to a tree, and now XM is there to clean up. They have Dream Call again in 5 seconds, by the way. So this team fight could very well go the way of CDEC, but there'll be a buyback from Ollie. Now JT jumping straight on top of XM, and they do secure the puck kill. That's a big one. Fly, though, trying to jump up the cliff, but not really getting there. He's still trying to run away with the spider legs, but no. He gets trapped up, and he does die. That's a dieback on the Ursa. Now an arena coming out, trapping JT and Kaka up. XM will buy back. Ollie Trying to jump in there, but that's probably not the greatest idea. Still trying to fight SRF, but he just won't die. Arme coming in now with Victoria, and there's another dream call there from XM. Catching Ollie on that Queen of Pain. That's going to be the second die back.
Ooh. Third.
Make it a 3. Kaka also dies to James. And Roshan is going to go down.
Yeah, no.
Kaka, well, you've got
No,
3 heroes
it.
that just died. They just all died back. It's game's over.
Whew, IG. They tried.